Well, that goes way back for me. My dad was a huge Twins fan, and I remember bits and pieces of the first game that he ever took me to. It was my dad and I, our neighbor and his son, and I remember sitting at the Met Stadium and down first baseline, and the Twins got a hit, and my dad leaned over and said to me, remember that guy because he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. And Rod Carew was standing on first base, and it stuck with me. My recollection of the game wasn't a whole lot because, like I say, I was only, in kindergarten or first grade at the time, but it stuck with me as one of those memories I'll never forget early on. Well, the lead up to a deployment like this is significant. An organization usually knows well ahead of time. There's a lot of training to be done in the States before we even ship. And so it's sometimes a couple of years that we're doing our train-ups, and there's a lot of additional time and resources put into that. And then once we actually do mobilize, we typically go down to a mob station for about a month or so of training before we come overseas, and then we're here about 9 months is a standard deployment for National Guard right now. And so as we prepare to go back home, we'll go through the demobilization process at that same station that we left from, and then go home. And typically deployments now are about 12 months in total, and that includes your mobilization train-up, your time overseas, and then your terminal leave at the end, or the vacation, essentially, that we've accrued during our time here. So our National Guard soldiers bring a lot to the table, our diversity both in who we are and our job experiences back home. We have individuals from educators to college students, from business executives all the way down to private business owners and small business owners. Every trade, from educators across the board. So we bring a lot of diversity, and so they address the issues that we have here a little differently. They've got more life's experiences. They've got skills that they bring to the table outside of their military experiences to address the issues that we have here. The strong work ethic that they bring, they just don't know how to quit, and they don't know how to fail, and so they come at it from a little different angle, I think, and just bring a lot there that some of the others don't have in experiences. Well, it absolutely is, and the sacrifices that they make, start, as we talked earlier, long before the deployment itself, with the additional training required to prepare and to stay ready to be deployed. And then once we hit the deployment, it's about the time that's involved leading up to and during the deployment. And that time isn't a sacrifice just for the soldiers. It's a sacrifice for families. It's a sacrifice for communities and employers. And so, there's just a lot that goes into that in terms of what they put into to be a National Guard soldier. And so it's a significant sacrifice, and their dedication to duty is just above and beyond to be able to stay in uniform and do the things that we do. And, being over here sometimes is easier than being home, and that we don't have those added responsibilities. We certainly have the issues of our mission and the things that we need to do to be successful here, but knowing that our families have support at home and that our employers are there picking up the slack while we're away enables us to do what we need to do here to be successful and focus on the mission. And so, those sacrifices go all the way around, and we just greatly appreciate the support from family, friends, communities, and employers back home because it gives us the opportunity and the ability to do the things that we need to. Well, every deployment is different, whether it's your first deployment or your sixth deployment, and there's a part of it that is what you make of it. And so there's a lot of opportunities here for soldiers to develop their leadership skills, both in their military training and their opportunities for advancement, but also in their interests on the civilian side. And so we have folks here who are representatives that assist with online college courses, On Camp Arifjan here, we have what they call Signal University, where soldiers are able to get their IT certifications that are pretty expensive on the civilian side, but they're able to do that training here for free. And then pretty much any other thing that they are interested in doing, whether it be fitness, sports, studying, any of those kind of things are available here. So they really have the chance to develop themselves and their interests, their hobbies, and further their careers as well, should they be interested in it, and bring those skills back as civilian employees as well as soldiers in the Minnesota Army National Guard. Well, I think the Red Bulls are a very proud organization. You know, our history is a part of who we are, but we don't let that be who we are completely, and that we have to carry that legacy forward and continue to be the exceptional soldiers that have come before us, so that we can continue that legacy. And so soldiers are proud of our past and what we've done, from our initial beginnings as a Sandstorm Division all the way through to becoming the Red Bulls that were recognized in World War II. And so we have had a great chance to make contributions to our country and the security of our nation, and we don't take that lightly. And so the opportunity to wear the Red Bull patch is a privilege that I'm certainly very proud of, and I think they are as well. Well, I think in addition to the sacrifice that the soldiers, their families, their communities, and their employers make, I think it's important to know that our soldiers come over here and make a lasting impression on the region, our partner nations, in building their ability to take on this mission someday on their own, and assist with the security of the region, which is a huge part of the security of the world at this point. And so it's sometimes maybe challenging to understand why we're spending so much time in the deployments that we have and whatnot, but it is certainly a big part of the success of stability in the region, and our partners greatly appreciate it. And I think the soldiers too bring back quite the experiences from the individuals that they've met and worked with over here, and building partners' capacity and interacting with those individuals. It's really interesting to see when they're out on an exercise, and pretty soon you see a Kuwaiti and an American soldier sitting next to each other eating a meal next to one of the vehicles. They may not speak the same language, but they're certainly learning from each other and finding out that we're all just folks here working hard. So we absolutely have been able to. That's the great thing about modern technology today. It's one of the first things that I take a look at in the morning, is to see what I missed the night before, and keep up with them. On occasion, we get Armed Forces Network will have a Twins game on, and so that's certainly a treat in itself to be able to watch the game live. But we're watching from afar, and I know some of the soldiers have the ability through modern technology to even watch the games live on their computers and different things that they have here. So we're cheering for them. We're rooting all the way, looking forward to getting home and seeing some live games ourselves. So go Twins. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate all that you do for us, and have a great day. Absolutely. Well, thanks a ton for all that you guys do. It's not just the line. The soldiers appreciate the heck out of all this kind of stuff, and the chance to follow at home as they're doing well. This is my 4th trip over here, and every time I'm sure that I'm going to miss a great win or a great season, and so that's all right. We'll make that sacrifice too. We just want to see them win, so keep it going. You bet. Have a great day. Thank you.